we got some things to talk about. I need for everybody in that room that gaslit Effie, I'm gonna need them in my office right now. Welcome to Betrayal. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to talk about Dreamgirls. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, betrayalstyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. Like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, you guys, I tried to get my Claire Huxtable on. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to give a whole effect like I was reading in an office, but I'm wearing contacts and these are prescriptions, so I'm getting dizzy looking up and down and trying to look through these glasses and give the whole effect. But y'all see what I was trying to do. I can't do it. I watched Dreamgirls, okay? And after reviewing the footage, the betrayal hit differently as an adult. I don't know what to tell you. When I watched this as a kid, I don't know. You know, when you're a kid, you don't really like have life experience to draw off of. But watching this as an adult, I'm just like, all of y'all are dead wrong. The only reason why you here is because of Effie. But let's get to it. Let's talk about the gaslighting. Let's talk about the disloyalty, the girl code or lack thereof. Let's talk about predatory opportunists in the industry leeching off of the talented, okay, to get to where they are today. If you haven't noticed already, I'm going to be talking about these characters as if they are real people. And if you don't like when people do that, if that makes you uncomfortable, if you think I sound weird or crazy, this ain't the video for you. So maybe you shouldn't watch it. You don't even have to leave that comment down below. You can just hit that X and head on out. Don't be a party pooper for the rest of us. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So we're gathered here today to discuss how Effie deserved better. Her talent is what carried the group, okay? They said that out of their own mouths. It wasn't Lorell, it wasn't Deena, because neither one of them had the voice to make them stand out. It was Effie that was the powerhouse vocalist, okay? Effie was always confident. She always knew she deserved better. She never wanted to be the background vocalist because she knew she had the best voice. And honestly, why should she? Well, what is Effie's voice doing in the background? It should be front and center. Side note, Jennifer Hudson deserved every bit of that Oscar, okay? From the singing to the acting, I was there. I was there with her. I mean, really, it was an all-star cast from Jamie Foxx to Eddie Murphy, who I feel like he didn't get enough credit for his role as well. I think we look at Eddie Murphy as like the funny man, and even when he's acting serious, his voice is just synonymous with comedy. So I think it was hard to take him seriously back then, but he actually killed his role too. Beyonce can act, but she can sing though. You know what I'm saying? I feel like personally that possibly should not have chose Beyonce to play that role, because if Deena was supposed to have a weaker voice, I don't think Beyonce's voice was the right one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand why they chose her star power, but it just didn't make sense in that role. It wasn't just A-list names, it was like A-list talent. I feel like each song represented a new chapter. It was like a book, and every time there was a new song, it was like that was a new chapter of the book, and I really enjoyed that. On top of that, I'm not really a big musical person, but Dreamgirls, that's one I could play all the way through. I ain't fast forwarding through Nan's song. I just love the whole production of it. Okay, back to what we were talking about. Let's pick up on the scene, like the climax of the movie where everyone has turned their back on Effie. This was after they lied to Effie and told her, oh, we're just gonna move Deena to the front just for now. We're just doing this for the look. You're gonna get your chance again. Lying. They knew they were never gonna bring her to the front ever again. They knew, and she knew it too. You know, that's why she threw a tantrum. And yes, she was being unprofessional to walk out the way she did, but it's because every single last one of y'all stabbed her in the back, especially you, Curtis, especially you, Cece. And we gonna get to y'all. But let me say this. She had every reason to be upset. On top of that, she was pregnant. The hormones was going crazy. Okay? Effie was never one to bite her tongue, but y'all deserved every single last thing she had to say. Everybody's gaslighting Effie, blaming every problem in the group on her, even though she's been backstabbed. Everybody knew how it went down too. It's like y'all knew exactly how this went down. Every single last person in this room talking crazy to Effie. I'm gonna start with the replacement. Replacement, we don't even have to know your name, okay? I didn't even take the time to look it up. I don't think I ever knew it. You're a replacement, okay? Replacement, you bring no value. Therefore, you need to hush. Your only qualifications for being in this group is being skinny and lighter than Effie, okay? That's your own. You're easily replaceable. Why did anybody in that room even let her speak up? She just got there, okay? She just got there a minute ago. And y'all letting her talk to Effie crazy like this? Somebody y'all done knew for all these years? Replacement. Every time I say replacement, it reminds me of the Bad Girls Club. You're a replacement. You are a placeholder, okay? Anybody could take your spot, okay? But we saw you solidify your spot by hooking up with Effie's brother. And we're going to get to you, Cece. You don't even hold as much value as Michelle Williams in Destiny's Child, okay? You're more like Farrah, all right? Moving on. Lorell, you're a day one. You're a day one. You know exactly how this went down, right? You knew that Effie got you in the door. And they had the nerve to tell her, Effie, I'm tired of all the problems you're making up. Making up? Were you not in the room when they came in there and replaced her with Deena and threw her in the back with you? People like Lorell get on my last nerve. When something trash goes down in the friend group, she's always the one that's either in the background, don't want to say anything, want to remain neutral. Even though you know what went down is jacked up, you don't want to say anything. You want to just stand in the corner and just watch the fight go down. You don't want to step in and stand up for what's right. Or either you don't have a backbone, so you just take the side of the majority. Okay? I don't appreciate people like you. I don't need friends like you in my life. Because when it comes down to it, you're going to push me right in front of that bus right along with everybody else. Why don't you go over there and worry about being a side chick for 8 years? 8 years, Lorell? 8 years? You was a side chick for 8 years. I didn't even realize it was 8 years. And you sitting up here, like, what did you really think you were going to get out of this situation? You're mad because Jimmy singing to his wife and turn around singing to you. You knew you was a side chick. You knew it was a mistress. At least know the role that you're playing. You knew you wasn't never going to take the place of the wife because he never left her. But that explains why she turned a blind eye to Deena messing around with Curtis behind Effie's back. Just because you was chasing after a crackhead for 8 years and never got anything out of it, that ain't my fault, okay? So don't take it out on me. And I don't mean to talk that bad about Jimmy, but Jimmy was low-key trash. I mean, he was cheating on his wife for 8 years and really longer than that. We saw the woman in the beginning. She was through with him. So Lorell came in and took that spot. And on top of that, Lorell was a young girl. He was low-key a little predator coming after her. I mean, Jimmy, you know, Jimmy got soul. You know, you could fake your way to the top, step into the bedside. I mean, you did have bops, but trash. I guess we'll move on to Curtis. You know, Curtis saying that she was trouble from the start. You've been trouble from the start. That is nothing but a projection of your slick, sleazy, and slimy character. Okay, you were the trouble from the start. You were a predator as well, sir, looking at these young girls. First of all, you low-key wanted Deena from the beginning, but you're an opportunist. You did what you had to do. You played up this relationship with Effie, even though you never really turned much affection. I feel like if these girls were not so green, they would have saw him coming. He even paid the person over their contest to make them seem like they didn't win, which they didn't win anyway. But what type of mind manipulation is that? To make it seem like they needed him to get to the next level. But no, he needed y'all, mainly Effie, to get in the door with Jimmy early. You know, he concocted this whole plan. I mean, it worked. But he concocted this whole plan using Effie's talent to get him to where he needed to. And as soon as he got there, he turned his back on her with no second thought. Promised that Effie would be the leader of the group. Then went behind her back and made the star of the group because the white men were looking at Deena because she was light-skinned. It had a popular frame for that time. You know what I'm saying? So he moved her to the front. He tried to invalidate her feelings and made her seem like this was for the greater good. He literally flipped on Effie overnight. Like, he went from being her boo to literally turning his back on her and the rest of the group. He turned not only his back on her, but he turned the rest of the group against her. The whole group, people that was her day ones, like I said. And honestly, everybody should have been watching their back at that point, because if he can flip everybody on Effie, the nucleus of this group, he'll flip on anybody. And he sure did. We saw that happen later on. We'll get to y'all. When Effie was confronting him, he could barely look at her because he knew he was dead wrong. He knew he couldn't even look at her. That's why he wanted to banish her so quick, because he knew. Then later on, when Effie was finally starting to get traction with her song, One Night Only, he did the same thing white people did to him. Stole her song and turned it into a disco hit and took all of her shine. Now, what type of evil, sneaky, slimy snake does something like that? Okay, you did exactly what the white man did to you with got me a girl like a. You did the same. You turned around and did the same thing. Curtis is a perfect example of when you give somebody money, it doesn't change them. It just amplifies who they already was. Curtis was already like this. He didn't like it when that was done to him, but now that he has the money to backstab and suppress someone else's voice, he's doing that exact thing. And it's so typical. And that's fine, because just like Effie White said, this time, Effie White gonna win. She did, because guess what? She got your child. And if I was Effie, I would go back and get all the back child support. All the back child support. I would go back and get every dime, okay? Because y'all out here living lavishly. I'm out here. I'm scraping and surviving. Yes, Effie spent all her money, but she was depressed. All of the people that she ever loved turned their back on her, okay? And now she's a single mother. Can't even reach out to this man with all this money to get help with her child, okay? Yeah, but we're about to get reparations, okay? We're getting that child back. We getting that back child support. And she got a label of her own now, okay? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, because they found out about your little mob ties. Sure did. Sure did. Let's move on to Deena. Deena was one of the main people in that room gaslighting Effie. Like, she was just so selfish and did not have a reason to be mad. First of all, I wouldn't even been talking to Deena. We don't even have no words to say. It would have just been hair pulling. You know, I can't fight, so it would have been hair pulling. It might have been a little rolling on the ground, a little wrestling. But we wouldn't have had nothing to say to one another, because not only did you take my livelihood, you took my man as well. The father of my child. I guess you didn't know that at the time, but oh no, them fighting words, girl. Them fighting words. I mean, you're the main one leading this charge against me when I have every right to be mad at you. See, Deena didn't used to be like this. Deena used to be very mild-mannered, quiet, shy, you know, all of that. And all of a sudden, you got all this mouth, okay? Now you think you the Effie of the group. And it's Curtis putting that battery in your back. We know it's Curtis putting that battery in your back. But what you don't know is that he was grooming you from the very beginning, girl. You didn't even realize you was being groomed, okay? He knew from the jump that he wanted you. This was the plan from the start. But see, Curtis looks at you like a pet, like a trophy, like a Barbie, like an object. He doesn't treat you as if you're someone that he loves. He treats you as a stepping stone. The same way that he treated Effie, really, you're just more profitable to him. This is something I never noticed, because in the very beginning of the movie, I was like, how old are these girls? Because they seem really young. I was hoping at least 18. But when she was arguing with Curtis about wanting to step out of this role that he's created for her, you know, he wants her to play a young Cleopatra in a movie instead of, you know, she wants to play a gutter hood, you know, drug addicted prostitute or something like that. You know how kid stars go Miley Cyrus on us and, you know, want us to look at them as grown, so they start acting wild. That's what she wanted to do, basically. And she was like, I am not 16, Curtis. And he was like, you will always be 16 to me. Predator, do we have a R. Kelly in the midst? Okay, I knew they was too young. See, Curtis, that's another thing that just make you eat. He need to be in jail. See, Curtis, I knew these grown men was looking at these young girls. I knew it. I knew it. And you just nasty. You disgust me, Curtis. But yeah, Deena, you latched on to Curtis. You stole him from Effie thinking you was getting you a prize. But this man literally took all of your rights away. He wouldn't even let you have a child. He controlled your ovaries too. I mean, basically he used you as a pawn because you didn't even know that Effie originally had the song One Night Only, and he used you to create, you know, a little bop so that he can like outsell, but you didn't even know what you were doing. You know, you had literally had no say in the situation whatsoever. It's quite sad because clearly colorism played a huge role in this situation. When a man claims to love you simply because you're light skinned, that is not a compliment. He doesn't like you because of your qualities. He doesn't truly appreciate you. He doesn't truly care about you. And you could be easily replaced with the next light skinned girl. I was stupid at one point in my life and thought that was a compliment. Oh, he like me because I'm light skinned, or that's just his preference. No, that's colorism. Okay, and it's ugly and it's nasty and it's anti-black and it's issues that he has within himself and sometimes with his own mother that he's acting out on you, and it's an ugly thing, really. So Deena, you had your little waiting till exhale moment, you know, where you ran out. I mean, really, it wasn't even really Curtis deserved for all of his stuff to be on fire. Really, the way he treated everybody, I really feel like Deena should have went a little bit harder with how she left him. I feel like Curtis really should have got his at the end of the day, and I feel like Curtis never did. You know, he did find out the last minute that he had a child, but what did he actually lose in this situation? I mean, I guess that's life, but I would have loved for Effie to get more redemption. I would have loved for her to get a true apology. Honestly, that whole "we are a family" moment where y'all brought out Effie should have been a public apology. That's cute that you apologized in the back room, but I'm gonna need for everyone to see that y'all, because they literally erased Effie from the history of the group. Like, once they kicked her out of the group, they made it seem like she wasn't even never a part of the group in the first place. Like, they really just erased her, you know, got the replacement girl and just erased her from the history as if she did not get them there. So I feel like Effie definitely deserved a lot more. Which brings me to Cece. I feel like Cece does not get enough flack. Cece is the most egregious to me because he sold out his own sister. His spineless behind gets to slide by with no blame. No. Not over here. Not over here, Cece. You had the nerve to tell her, lay off Effie. Just take the money and run. Cool it, Effie. This time you know what you done. What did Effie do? What did Effie do besides give you your career? Yeah, because without Effie singing your songs, these other people would have never gave you a chance. Ever. It literally took Effie breathing life into your songs in order for anybody to take you seriously. You would not be where you are today without her. Your own sister, your flesh and blood. This is somebody you grew up with, somebody you played with, and you turn your back on her like that? I mean, this is literally some Mufasa and Scar type of betrayal. I mean, no, he didn't take her life, but he took her career. He took her livelihood. He took the side of the man that backstabbed her. He's also someone living in the lap of luxury while his sister's over here struggling. He didn't even know he had a niece. Okay, you didn't even know you had a niece. He at least could have taken care of her and given her other opportunities that he had access to, but he didn't even do that. And then when Curtis cast you to the side the same way he did Effie, now all of a sudden you want to come crawling back? Yeah, he would have had to do a lot more apologizing, begging, and pleading for me to give him any sort of, oh, I need you to sing this song. I know you need me. Yeah, I know. You're going to have to shout that from the rooftops, buddy. You know, I don't blame people for forgiving family for doing them wrong or whatever, but I would have never trusted him ever again. Not to that degree, not with my career, never again. No, I would have never done that. And if I did, it would have been some serious contracts in play to make sure he'll never be able to cross me ever again. But at the end of the day, Cece, you are ungrateful, and I feel like you got exactly what you deserve from Curtis. I'm really just disgusted by the whole room. You're all backstabbers. You're all liars. Now one of y'all with no loyalty if it slapped you in the face. So yeah, that was my rant. as y'all can tell, this is one of my favorite movies growing up. I'm one of those people that knew the words to this movie, knew the words to all the songs on the movie. I probably didn't have no business watching some parts of this movie, but it was one of my favorites, and I had so much fun doing this rant. So y'all tell me what y'all thought down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace.